Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new video in the Farsi scripts. In today's lesson we are going to learn the last letter in this script, which is the letter Ya, and we are going to talk about some notes with regards to the dots and the harakat. We will start with the letter Ya, where we have a few shapes for it. When it's by itself, we start with the following. First we have 1.5 points of height. One, and let's say this is half. This would be the governed height of the head of the cap, and it will be 2 points of width, around 2 points of width, 1 and 2. So here we have the width. When we start with this move, we go slightly upward, then we go back. So this move will have a slight nudge up, then going back just like this. Now the second move would be again 1.5 drop, just like this, and it will be retracted 1 point from the edge of the first move. Now this move is basically going down into a curved shape, just like this, and the end of it would be slightly vertical, so that you would start with the second move. So for this move, as we can see, it's a one curve joined to the other one, just like this. Now for the third one, it's almost 1 point wide, this one. For the third one, we would do the same move as the noon move, but with a slight difference, which is that it's smaller. For the letter Ya, this move is smaller than the noon. We're going to take 1.5 points from this inside edge, and this will give us the end that the letter would reach. So it will rotate, then it will reach to this point, and it will take a 1 point drop from the top here. So this is where it will end. And for the tummy, for example, if this was the line where this move ends, it will take 1 point. With the same moves as the noon, we go down, rotate the pen, then come back up and finish it, just like this. And this is for the letter Ya by itself. Now this is the first shape, which is the normal shape. Now dots come down here, of course. And we have a second shape, which is the sort of sword Ya that goes back. For that one, we have the first move, which consists of 3 dots on an angle, on a 45 degrees angle. And the move itself is like a wave, just like this. Thin start, thicker part by going to the left and coming back. You don't change the angle of the pen, it's just the idea of moving perpendicular to the flat side of the pen. Then the second part would be going down, so this is the line. You would go down a bit here, then you will curve up and go back with a sort of decrement in the size of the pen. Now this will go high 1 point, and the length varies from 9 to 15. So you've got 9, 13 and 15. We will come to this later to explain why. And yeah, it comes by itself this way. Now we have the second part of this video would be talking about the connected one. For example, if it was connected to a ba, the ba would take this shape like a dal. Then we have the Ya, then we close it. Same thing with the fa. So you write the letter by itself first, then you add this shape, then you continue the letter shape. So you basically add the tip of the shape, then you continue it with a nice 1, 2 and 3 moves. This is the way you do it, and you have to follow in the notes that we talked about with regards to how high and how low these things are. If it was connected for a lamb, for example, again it's the same thing. you have to show the thin parts in the letter here. Let's try ha. It is all the same. Now if we connected the other one, this one, we will have a different length of it depending on the word. For example, mahabbati. We have a meme connected to a ha, and we go down for a ba. We add the elongation for the ba here. It is too high, it stops here. Goes down with this move, the same as the other one. This end would look like this. You stop and you go down immediately. It's not that sharp. Now you see the length here, it's almost 9 points. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to use the 9-point ya for this one. You see how the whole word sort of is standing on this ya. Now here we have a ba, ta, and a ya. You could put the ba dot here if it was too narrow to put it here, but it fits in here perfectly. Now if we have another example, if we had for example a word that has a very long combination of letters, Sayanjali for example, Sin connected to a ya, then a noon, then a jim, then we have a lam. Now we have a ya here. We go down, and this would be almost 15 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Up to here. So we are going to use the longer ya. The same thing, you go down, you have a play. So for example, this is going down, then you have a keeping the same level, then you start going up depending on the positioning. You might delay the going up to here. So you've got 1/3 going down, let's say 1/3 of, or even a quarter going down, quarter going straight, and a quarter to go up and give yourself this 1 point rise, and it end up here. So say Yanjali, Sa, Ya, Noon, Jim, Ya. And this is for the letter Ya. Now letter Ya inside the word is similar to the ba, so we can go back to that lesson and see it. Next we are going to talk about the dots. This is the end of the letters. We are going to move on to learning about the dots, and for these ones the main shape of the dot is basically moving the pen in a square shape. So let's imagine that these are the strokes of the pen. So here you have a square. Finally you will end up circling this part, coloring it. So you've got a square, then a small color part here. This way you get the curve down here, and it's the same thing for the letter ba at the end of the letter ba. Now the combination between letters, you could either do 1, then break, then add 2 here, which will give you a sharp edge in between. You could also have them 1 and continue it with the 2. So this will show a joint between the two of them. So you either have a sharp end here, or it could be joint. The same thing goes for the points on top of each other, 1 and 2, or you could do 1 then 2, but as you can see there's a curve here, it's not a squared shape. This is with regard to 2 points. The 3 points have the same rules. You either draw each one by itself, or you do those 2 together and this one would come afterwards. And the same thing goes for if they were the other way around, because I think in some languages you've got 3 flipped dots. We also use some lettering in the Farsi. For example, if you had a letter sin that is not obvious, you would add a sin here, just like this. Sometimes you add a ha, and a small alif for decoration. So these are the small letters for decorations and to make meanings out of things. With regards to the positioning of the dots, so for example, if you had a ba or a ta or a tha, so for a ba you would go down 1 dot basically and add your dots. You would go up 1 dot and add either the 2 dots or the 3 dots. So you always have the space of 1 dot everywhere. The same thing goes, for example, with the connected ones. You leave 1 dot, then you put your dot here. Ha and kha, jim and kha actually has the same rule. Leave 1 dot, then add your dot on top of it. This is with regard to the dots. With regards to the harakat, we don't add harakats, except for example with the shadda or a fatha, and they are just easy ones to write. For the Quranic script, you add harakat, but there's no specific shape for these, for this script. Now, today's lesson we talked about the ya, and we saw how it looks like by itself with 2 shapes, connected with 2 shapes. Wrapped our heads around some rules with regards to the going back ya. Then we talked about the dots. Now, depending on the style we are going to see this in the next few lessons. We've got 4 styles of the Farsi. We've got the Persian, the Turkish, the Arab, and the Pakistani. And for each one of them, for example, the Pakistani, they do the curved upward dots. They have a curvature here. So if you saw different shapes of letters or dots, make sure to check what's the nationality of the calligrapher and what school he's studying. We're going to talk about all these details in the next few lessons, and make sure to watch these because they have some information in them. I try to put as much information in my videos, but sometimes I either forget or I don't know everything in this world. So if you find things other than my content, it's fine. Maybe I've made mistakes, it's valid, it's there. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and the next few weeks we are going to talk about the types and the methods to write Farsi. Then we are going to take a sample to finalize what we've learned, and hopefully this video was informative and the next few ones will be really good to gain some knowledge. This has been Ammar Awaldi. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you find these videos informative, and see you in the next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.